I am Vanessa Hidary, the Hebrew Mamita. I am a solo performer in the realm of storytelling and poetry and monologue. I wanted to be able to write for a voice that wasn't being represented, an urban Jewish girl that grew up in Manhattan and hung out in the hip hop scene. So I just kind of cast myself out of necessity for just wanting to perform and get parts and not wait for other people to give me that. Oh my God. God bless you, Mom. Le Poussin Rouge is a pretty new venue that this guy, Mike Geffner, put together. It's just, you know, there are only a few places in the city now that really have, you know, that are strictly for poets, and he started that, has gotten a lot of connections in the poetry world, and the last 2 Fridays of every month he features 4 poets.
And to top it all off, the ones that execute the slurpee, God bless you, can be so ill-mannered. They're the ones that if you don't respond to them, might hit you with a, "You're not all that," which feels like schoolyard bullying. And they're incredibly unselected. You're just as good as the next girl rearing up a few feet behind with a busted face. The classy God bless you, Ma, is a totally different experience. It goes down something like this. He waits to catch your eyes, looks you straight in the eye with a slight doe-eyed, earnest yet sexy look, and here's the clincher. He gently places a hand over his heart, and maybe I've imagined this part, but with a slight bow of the head. And with no slurp or "oh my God" intro, simply says, "God bless you, Mom. You're beautiful." It's like Maria feeling oh so pretty, witty, and wise in a dress shot, like flowy sundresses in Sicily, like the first dip in the Noxema jar. Humbling like men's caps off for the Star-Spangled Banner. And then I can smile sweetly, but not too eagerly, and say thanks, and he'll say something like, "Have a great day, beautiful." And then I walk off into the C-train sunset. Isabella Mussolini. Voila, transaction done. How civilized and blessed.
I love doing what I do in a mixed venue like the other night. I think it's in some ways just as, if not more important, because I can be representing being Jewish to non-Jews, you know, and so it's kind of like not just preaching to the choir in that way, but getting other people to see the multifaceted Jewish person who, so for example, there was like a whole group of women in the front who I don't think were Jewish, and, you know, completely related to all my stuff about men and stuff. So then we can kind of, in a very, you know, not trying to sound so, you know, peace, love, and happiness, but then we can kind of have that concept of like, oh, a Jewish girl and, you know, a black woman can like completely come together on this one issue. And I think sometimes we just forget that that stuff is so, you know, is a lot more universal.
But then I saw it. I was everything but nothing you wanted. Everything but nothing you wanted. Everything you wanted but feared. Nothing you wanted but devoured. Nothing you wanted, and you thanked me for confirming to you that you wanted nothing. With anyone right now, nothing. You weren't quite sure, but now you know you want to be left alone in your room with nothing, and you're overanalyzing of nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. God, if you only knew how that made me feel.
Spoken word by nature is, hopefully when it's at its best, is an interactive sport, you know, so as a spoken word artist, you know, if your audience is not really responding to you, it feels a little bit empty in that way. So right now, sometimes people will do something like they'll do a finger snap thing. That's kind of come back into style. A few years ago, they weren't doing that. Or sometimes they'll just like kind of have a verbal thing like, you know, like what? Or like, go in, you know, tell them, like a cheering on kind of thing.
Don't even get me started on Facebook. I'll just have to say that I felt really whack having to delete my past lover. But back in the days, you had natural distance to get over someone. Yes. You might not want to know There is this amazing place in my brain called my imagination. And even though it might be delusional and have me think my recent lover is home miserable by my absence, I'd like to live in that kooky place until I'm over it. Not see pictures of where he was last night. Not know what events he's attending. Not see that smile that I'm trying to forget. It's so ridiculous, I know, to not know things when you actually can. But like the busy signal, sometimes I just like to be unavailable to being reached. Yeah!